Pani Minister, thank you very much for participation in our panel. It was, I think, very important. We discussed such important things and things which before used to be like hidden, even forbidden. And today we see that in Kapracz, in this forum, it's like a normal narrative that we discuss all this question like in terms of reality and normality, not like something radical as it was. What do you think? What changed this time? Even comparing last year, I see the change in mentality.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. There is a wind of changes visible to be tested. I heard comments of journalists, several participating in a variety of events, that the voice of, broadly speaking, regions, so captive nations, those intimidated, those persecuted, perishing because of Russian, Soviet, then once more Russian atrocities was heard. People were visible, even people like Ahmed Zakhaev, who is a legend, simply legend, also suffering a lot of obstacles, atrocities during his lifetime. The fact that he's able to speak openly in a panel during such conference is kind of joint our achievement, I think. Of course, his first and his people. We congratulate all of them on their Independence Day. And well, in Poland we have a large community of Chechen refugees, and well, it was probably not easy, neither for them nor for us. Yet it was done, and it was well understood, like then bringing Belarusians and Ukrainians to Poland. And now in this we see our practical solidarity, that we feel, we understand this, we act even without thinking. That's something very valuable, I think, and I speak not only about Poles, but just about whole region. It's visible. It's something building our new identity, because it is. We were aware all this time about kinship, similarity of even among differences. Yet this kinship was absolutely there. We were victims of the same oppressor many times, and we feel it. We learn how to resist it, and now we decided not to allow further atrocities and to prevent taking over of Ukraine by Russian Federation. Of course, it's first and foremost achievement of unbelievable resistance of Ukrainians, unbelievable, just paying tribute to this.
Our panel, it was, I think, very significant question, which already time to put on the table, that these people who went from Russia to West when started this aggression against Ukraine, they create such a community of victims of Putin's regime, and they start to build this narrative about good or perfect Russia of future. And this myth and this I don't know, phantom, is supporting by some Western foundations. We know that there are millions or billions have been invested to, for example, Imperia of Khodorkovsky. My question is, if we understand, and our speakers, they told this very clearly, openly, that this is only myth, that there is no any chance to build democratic Russia. How to persuade and how to prove to Western foundations that this is immoral even to invest such a money to something, something like a myth, and not to pay attention to peoples who deserve the freedom and who have rights to be free.
Very difficult actually to comment and to explain. No question that after this full-scale invasion, we were very meticulous in observing reaction of ordinary Russians. Actually, even before the invasion, we were so much concerned that we used to ask almost every Russian citizen we met about their feelings. In my case, in particular, about their attitude to external aggression, to neo-imperial policies. My mantra actually is the necessity for ordinary Russians to condemn, to cut off the neo-imperial policies, because without this, I honestly speaking do not believe in changes in Russia. After invasion, listening to interviews, to speeches, to responses of society, to Putin's statements, we can discuss how broad this support for war, for aggression there is. In my opinion, being unwilling to fight, to engage in combat, is not enough. Because usually people are afraid of being in combat fighting, ordinary young people, and that is normal. In order to eradicate future dangers, it should be accompanied with clear denial of neo-imperial attempts, neo-imperial thoughts, neo-imperial tasks or projects. Also perception of the own nation being superior in terms of being able to impose solution on other sovereign nation. That is the essence of this. And honestly speaking, I think that we have to foresee kind of program of free worlds similar to denazification after Second World War, because what we saw during this invasion is really frightening in terms of ordinary people's attitudes. Old ladies, shop attendants, taxi drivers, really ordinary people. Atrocities perpetrated there. Support for this in terms not questioning the source of normal house utilities sent home from the world. from the war in combat. So gaining in terms of standing of ordinary family in Russia, and these are simply facts, and very frequently accompanied by murder, by atrocities, robberies that are effects of destruction of whole cities. That's unacceptable.
During today forum in lobby, I've seen you. So you were talking with some lady. She was maybe not polite. I didn't understand, but I saw your, face, how you was, standing in front of her, and I was just shocked how beautiful you are, and this. Like solidarity, I remember your photos during solidarity. I saw the same woman, very strong. How from you get the forces? Because how you attacked from different, forces.
Well, I'm a grandmother already now. I'm not particularly strong in terms of physical health. Yes, I'm rather strong psychologically. So in terms, I have clear views, and I did not change my views. I'm an optimist, so I know that in order to achieve this vision, you have to act. It's not just granted from above. Of course, I'm a believer as well, so I'm supported by this. Well, there is partly also family tradition, partly necessity I know that I have to do this for my kids, for my grandchildren, and other children. I'm particularly sensitive to this. It's unbelievable what happens to Ukrainian children. I always tell while in the parliament that it is something totally different when you listen to kids in TV while drinking, sipping your tea or coffee, or talking to Ukrainian 5-year-old kid in your kitchen. And that is simply heartbreaking. So probably that's the force, that you are able to feel it simply, to have this understanding. And I think that in our region, predominantly people are like this, that it is easier to find this kind. Probably good life makes something also some difference, and people in western part of our world have to find additional strength to understand things, because when you live in easy and comfortable conditions, and you are too much engaged in preserving these conditions, it may lead you nowhere. In our part of the world, we know variety of situation. We know atrocities and good life as well. So maybe it is easier.
Could you explain for our audience how it's possible that your enemies, and not mean your personal enemies, but enemies of правда и справедливость, how it's possible that we're saying that you are on the side of Putin after the killing your leader, Kaczynski, and after all this stuff, which we know that the people in Russia and even not in Russia, not in these countries. Could you explain a little bit this collusion?
Well, you already answered this question. I asked it myself as well, because obviously among all people in politics in our circle, because of President Kaczynski, but not only because of our roots. We are not against Russians or ordinary Russians. We would like to have them as friends, and we even tried. I think some time ago, surely President Kaczynski tried to somehow to seek reconciliation, but reconciliation should be based on truth, real truth, and actually also making changes, real changes in attitudes. Eventually, also, like in terms, surely it is to come with Ukraine and Ukrainian people. Reparations should be paid, damages should be paid, and real changes should be done. Same with Polish history. Not all things are straight nowadays. After years of Second World War and then time of communism, there is still much to change, much to improve, also in people's attitudes.
Thank you very much indeed for your support to Chechen people, to Georgian people, to Ukrainian people, and thank you for such a strong memory of Lech Kaczynski, who is for us is just the person.
Well, he used to be not only my authority, but my friend simply, so it's very difficult not to remember it. It's always our daily life. Surely we are quite strongly cooperating group of his former co-workers, close co-workers. We support each other. We are always close to his twin brother.
We are always at your disposal in these terms. I mean,
Yeah,
always
of course,
we are
I
on
know.
your side.
All
Thank
the
you so
best.
much.